Good morning, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and get things started here, if everybody can find their seats. My name is Austin Clayman, and I'm a Defiance College Class of 2010 member and president of the Alumni Association Executive Board. I'll be serving as your Master of Ceremonies for part of the program this morning. Unfortunately, you get my allergy voice, which is what I woke up with today. But we're excited to welcome you back to Yellow Jacket Country and the DC 175th Anniversary Homecoming Celebration. I'd like to draw your attention to a couple of the new activities this year that include the DC Carnival for kids and the kids at heart, and the 1970s Decade and Beyond reunion. We hope you will enjoy the tailgate party that follows this event with food trucks, games, and catching up with DC classmates. It is now my honor to introduce Dr. Rich Ann Mankey. Dr. Mankey is the 19th president of Defiance College.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, and welcome to our 175th anniversary homecoming celebration. What a great accomplishment. And congratulations to all of our awardees today. John doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I think I'm going to ask everybody who's getting an award today to stand up so we can give you a round of applause. These awards are made even more special because of the 175th anniversary. These things don't happen in a vacuum, as you know. And of course, the institutional advancement staff is always behind the organization of homecoming. The person who really makes it happen is Sherry McCoy. So I'd like for her to be recognized. Thank you. And of course, John Troutman, our volunteer extraordinaire, and Marcia Moore. We have some trustees, former trustees, maybe partners and spouses in attendance. I know that our board chair, Dr. Robert Head, is here. Other trustees and former trustees, please stand to be recognized. I know you're here, so. And finally, we have some of the senior leadership team scattered about who will be assisting us today. Some were at the tent last night, so if you would stand to be recognized. I know Dr. Caldwell and Dean Marslek are here. John Troutman. And finally, we haven't tasted the food yet, but the food service makes the breakfast happen, so thank you to Hallmark Management Services. Lots of people make this happen. Needed to pick on a few today. Thank you to all members of our campus who put this weekend together for us. It takes a village, as we all know. Just wanted to give you a little update on this 175th anniversary. You may or may not know these things, so if you do know, you can take a break. If you don't know, I'd love to give you a little bit of an update. In 2023, you may recall, we reduced tuition by 25%. We've held that now, and we'll hold it through the incoming class of 2026. It has been a game changer for us, as has our move from NCAA Division III to the NAIA. And if you've noticed, we've won a few games. It's always helpful. We needed to build our enrollment. We were up and down for a few years because we needed to rebuild quality and add to our quality. So let me give you an example, and this is Dr. Caldwell's realm. When I arrived in 2016, the faculty rate of PhDs was 55% of the faculty. A president wants that rate to be 70%. By intentional hiring for discipline and fit, we're now at 82%. So that really portrays the quality. That leads to stronger classes. 2 years ago, our entering class was 80% up over the prior class. This past fall, we were 13% up over last year. This year's class was 308. I had a trustee say to me last night, I never thought we'd see these numbers again. Not only was the class 308 exactly where we needed it to be, it is stronger academically than past classes. So let me give you an example. 2 years ago, we were at 3.07 high school GPA. Last year, 3.1. This year, 3.22. So we have a quality class, quality faculty, and you can really tell on campus. The essence of Defiance College is transformative. When I first arrived, as I interviewed actually, in October of 2015, I remember saying to my husband, Mike, on our way out to the car after a series of interviews and meals, I really hope this works. There's something about this place. So when I arrived in 2016, I started to ask alums and community leaders, did they feel this essence? And if they did, what was it? What they said is a faculty member, a staff member, or a coach reached in, saw their potential, and helped them see it and realize it. We now call that our purpose, our why, and we call it transformative learning. That's what we do. Defiance College transforms lives. You all have helped contribute to success in fundraising. Our last 2 years of fundraising are in the top 12 ever. This past year was 2.6 million. The year before that, 3.9. So thank you for your generosity. And we had some awful news in the June of 2023 about our accrediting body, but I am proudly able to tell you that we worked really hard. That news, that challenge from the HLC was turned into an opportunity, and we are now back on what's called the standard pathway with the Higher Learning Commission, and we are thrilled about the transformation we have made over the last 2 years. The culture has changed. We are more together, going more together than we ever have, and that's what Defiance College always does. It turns a challenge into an opportunity. You know that I use the African proverb, so I know that I'm standing between you, a prayer, and breakfast. So let me end with the African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thanks for being here together with us today. Enjoy homecoming, all the reconnections, and congratulations again to our awardees this morning. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing before the prayer. I missed some faculty member who are in the room. So if you're a faculty member here today, please stand up and be recognized. Former faculty member too. Very good. Some in the back. So welcome all. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dave Polson, who will give our blessing.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you with thanks and praise. And on this day, we thank you for the Defiance College and for 175 years of service to you, Lord, our community, our country, and to the world. We also thank you for the faculty and staff at the college and for President Mankey and the Board of Trustees. And we ask for your guidance, direction, and wisdom to keep this institution on the right path, teaching young minds to be contributors and guardians to the society in which we live. We pray for the students here to grow in wisdom, knowledge, and integrity, to make the world a better place for us all. We thank you for the alumni and all the supporters of the Defiance College who add to the educational experience. We also thank you for those who have passed on before us, for the carrying on of the traditions and customs which make this college unique. We ask you for blessings for the preparers and servers of the food offered today, and we ask you to bless the food which we will partake. All of this we ask in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
All right, everybody, as we're wrapping up our meals, our breakfast, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Alumni Awards. So it is an honor to introduce our Alumni Achievement Award recipients. The award is presented to alumni and alumnae who have made outstanding achievements in their fields of endeavor and have demonstrated exemplary service to their communities and society. This year's recipients are Steve Bowerly and Colette Hiddle. At this time, would Steve Bowerly join the president and me on stage? Pastor Steve Bowerly retired after serving as the lead pastor at Zion Lutheran Church in Waterville, Ohio for 37 years. He earned his BS degree in social work from the Defiance College in 1978 and a Master of Divinity degree from Trinity Lutheran Seminary in Columbus, Ohio in 1982. He is a former member of the Defiance College Board of Trustees and served on the DC Presidential Search Committee for Dr. Harris. He served on the board of directors at St. Luke's Hospital in Maumee and the Lakeside Chautauqua Association, Lakeside, Ohio, and presently serves on the board of directors at Jenna Cross Lutheran Services in Toledo, Ohio. Pastor Bowerly was the most valuable pitcher on the Defiance College baseball team in 1978. He is married to Amy, and they have 4 children, Sarah, Marcus, Eric, and Kaylin. They are guardians to Esther from Tanzania and have 2 grandchildren, Christian and Bowden. He enjoys spending time with his family at the Lakeside Chautauqua, vacationing in the UP of Michigan, traveling and leading medical mission trips to Tanzania, and being a fan of the Toledo Mud Hens. Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you. I appreciate coming together today. I'm humbled and actually a bit nervous. I've preached hundreds of sermons over the years, but I've never had my fraternity brothers sitting in front of me. But I just have to tell this quick story. The speech folks who were here today, we were just talked about Randy Buckman. And just one story about Randy Buckman was he's the only professor I've ever met. I know Dr. Younger, I don't think this ever happened. He's the only professor that could smoke 2 cigarettes at the same time. He would get so excited in American history and what he was teaching. There was this big no smoking sign that was above the lecture hall, and he'd come underneath it and start smoking a cigarette, and just get so excited and lay his cigarette down and all of a sudden light another cigarette, and he just went on. So I think of Dr. Buckman here today. I also just conclude with wanting to lift up one other person, and that's actually my wife. And she's looking at me with this weird look. My wife is a speech therapist, and it's interesting just being around the speech folks for 37 years, and she worked with special needs students, disabled, autistic, and she worked in the Defiance, Napoleon, Liberty Center area. She just retired after all these years and didn't get a whole lot of recognition. So would you help me recognize her for... Thank you.
At this time, would Colette Hiddle join the president and me on stage? Our second recipient is Colette Hiddle, who graduated from DC in 2005 and is a graduate of Kent State University and holds dual bachelor's degrees in athletic training and wellness and an associate degree in physical therapy assistant technology. Her career encompasses impactful roles from serving as the Director of Rehabilitation at Genesis Rehabilitation Services to her previous position as an annually contracted faculty member at Sinclair Community College's Physical Therapist Assistant Program. Currently, she serves as Executive Director at the Piqua Community Foundation. Her experience includes curriculum process improvement, innovative teaching methods, business development, and fostering interpersonal relationships through direct patient care and student mentorship. Hiddle's passion for the community she calls home extends beyond her professional life. She has resided in Piqua, Ohio for 10 years with her husband, Jeremy, who serves as the Piqua City Schools treasurer, and they have a daughter, Kaylee. Actively involved in the community, Hiddle has previously served on the St. Mary's Catholic Church Festival Committee and currently holds a board member position for the Tecumseh Woods swim team and volunteers her time at many Piqua City Schools events. Congratulations, Colette.
All right, I might be a few minutes longer than Steve, but I'll try to keep it short. Good morning. So I figured we would start with the question that I would probably be asking myself right now. How did someone who graduated from Defiance College learning about concussions and passing out ice bags ever end up teaching CPT billing codes, grading papers, and eventually diving into tax laws around charitable giving while passing out grants and scholarships? And honestly, I often ask myself that same question. If you had ever told the girl who spent her days taping ankles and hauling ice bags like they were gold that she'd one day be spending her time entertaining donors and asking them to make a charitable contribution, I would have laughed, grabbed my fanny pack, and said, "Good luck with that, you got the wrong girl." But here we are, and while my career path might be one of a kind, and maybe even unrepeatable for another DC alum, I actually do know how I got here. And more importantly, I believe that every Defiance College graduate is just as prepared to lead that distinctive life in their chosen professions, just as I did. It all comes back to something that we know well, the core pillars of the Defiance College mission: to know, to understand, to lead, to serve. To know, for many of us, the moment we stepped onto this campus, we knew it was home. This was the place we would become our future selves. For me, Defiance was actually the first and only college visit that I took. My future teammate and forever dear friend, Jessica Deere, pun absolutely intended, gave me the best tour when I came to campus and showcased the love and well-rounded education that DC was ready to give me. I went home and I told my parents, who are also here with me today, that that's it, Defiance is where I'm going to school. And of course, like any good parents, they said, "Don't you want to visit a few more places? Maybe at least one more?" And I said, "Nope, this is home." To understand. Now, of course, Defiance gave me the technical skills that I needed to succeed early in my career, but more importantly, it gave me the skills that truly carry you through life: confidence, communication, problem solving, critical thinking, professionalism, all those things that you think you have as a freshman, but you really don't. And I owe a big part of that growth to professor and head athletic trainer Kevin Tong. I remember right before graduation, I started to panic. I was thinking about all the medical emergencies that I could possibly encounter without him or assistant athletic trainer Kathleen Westfall by my side. And I asked him, "Kevin, how am I ever possibly going to know everything I need to know as an athletic trainer?" And he said one of the most profound things I've ever heard and have since shared with many of my students along the way. He said, "Colette, you're not going to know everything, but you will know something, and that something will guide you in that moment." That simple advice wasn't just about athletic training. It was about confidence and lifelong learning. It taught me that you don't arrive at the finish line with all the answers, but you do stand strong keep growing, and build on what you know. So thank you to Kevin and Kathleen for being important parts of my life here and for those valuable lessons. To lead. The leadership skills that have emerged in my professional career were built right here at Defiance. A very big thank you goes to my softball coach, Carrie Kenke. Coach didn't just teach me the softball skills. She saw the drive in my soul, that eager, very eager freshman who walked onto campus with big dreams, and she gave me the space and the structure to build on it. She cultivated a leader on the diamond, which gave me the foundation to lead in every role since. Coach, I'll always be grateful for your mentorship. And I still honestly don't know how you managed all of our team's daily shenanigans, but thank you for building leaders out of the chaos. To serve. Looking at my path, athletic trainer to educator to philanthropist, it seems a bit unconnected, but I found the common thread, service. Whether it was serving athletes, students, or now my community, Defiance instilled in me the importance of investing in others. That lesson has guided me every single step of the way, and I am so thankful to Defiance College for making sure that I valued that principle. Because whether in your career or personal life, we can accomplish so many great things when we simply serve others, making serving others a priority. So thank you to Jessica Deere, who I learned this morning nominated me for this award. And thank you to the Defiance College Alumni Executive Board for this incredible honor. I'm truly flattered to be standing up here. And I can't leave without thanking a few other special people, to my softball teammates and their parents, who truly became my Defiance family. When you're hours away from home, you need that second family, and they showed up for me on and off the field with a whole lot of love, which didn't stop at graduation, and some of them are even here today, so thank you. My parents, who taught me early that dreams are achievable if you work for them, and then gave me every opportunity to pursue mine. So this morning, I accept this award on behalf of you both as well, because none of my success would be possible without your love and guidance. And finally, to my husband, Jeremy, and daughter, Kaylee, who unfortunately couldn't be here this morning. Tonight is also HOCO, as the young kids call it back home. And so Dad bravely volunteered to stay back behind and manage the glitter and bobby pins and pre-dance frenzy. And if you have a teenage daughter, you understand that that's truly a heroic act of service. So I thank them both for supporting me throughout the years and for always being my biggest fans. So thank you again, Defiance College. I am deeply humbled and incredibly proud to accept this award. And the values that the college instilled are the very reason that I stand here today, and I am committed to continuing to live the mission that made me. So thank you.
It is an honor to introduce our Alumni Citation for Academic Excellence recipients. This award is presented to alumni and alumnae who have contributed in significant ways to the world of scholarship and/or teaching during the years since their graduation from Defiance College. This year's recipient is Gary Morris. Gary, will you please join me and the president on stage? Gary Morris, a 1990 DC grad, is in his 27th year of teaching, the last 23 of which have been at McLean County High School, Calhoun, Kentucky. Mr. Morris is the Department Chair of Social Studies and currently teaches grades 9 through 12 Advanced Placement United States History, Geography, World War II History, Civil War History, Government and Civics, and Constitutional Law. Mr. Morris earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in History and Political Science from the Defiance College, a Master of Arts in Education from Antioch University in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and additional graduate hours in special education from Wright State University in Dayton. Mr. Morris was awarded the Earl C. Clements Award for Innovation in Education for Civic and History teachers. He has also been recognized as a teacher that made a difference by former students who attended the University of Kentucky and created the only high school moot court program in the state that competes nationally. Mr. Morris was privileged to be selected with a student in 2013 to the Normandy Institute and was invited back as their first head teacher in 2019 and 2020-21. Mr. Morris utilized the main project in the Institute, the Silent Hero Project, with his students in U.S. history in World War II. The students do research on a family member or a person from McLean County who participated in World War II. As part of the research, students utilized the local history genealogy museum, as well as military records from the National Archives. Mr. Morris lives in Evansville, Indiana, with his wife of 34 years, Mary. Mr. and Dr. Halleck Morris have one daughter, Raven Morris Hunt, and 5 grandchildren. Congratulations, Gary.
Like any good extemper, I have a note card. President Menke, members of the Board of Trustees, Defiance College faculty and staff, alumni, fellow honorees, and honored guests. The idea of standing on the shoulders of others sometimes seems cliche, but in a moment like this makes a lot of difference. Without my wife, Dr. Mary Halleck Morris, and my daughter Raven and our grandchildren's patience and willingness to put up with all the stuff that I do in teaching, I would not be here. Without the support and encouragement of the administration, staff, and support staff at McLean County High School, where I've been for 23 years, I would not have been able to do the things that I do in the classroom. Without opportunities like National History Day, led by Dr. Kathy Gorn, and the Normandy Institute, led formerly by Dr. Tom Long, I would not have gained opportunities that I use in the classroom today. Without the strong foundation laid here at Defiance College, I wouldn't be here. Starting with my forensics coach, Dr. Jan Younger, who helped me to develop as a public speaker and taught me lessons that I use in the classroom every day through extemporaneous and impromptu speaking. Through history professors Randy Buckman, Dr. Eugene Andrews, Dr. Robert Beam, Dr. Michael Soper, and Dr. Richard Weeks, I would not have had the content that I utilize every day in the classroom with my students. And without Reverend Jan Bechtel, I would not have developed into the person that I have become today. Teaching and education is a people business, and I have been fortunate and blessed to be a part of that endeavor. Standing on the shoulders of others, I thank you all for this award.
We now honor our ties to the original Schauffler College with the presentation of the Schauffler Legacy Awards. This year's recipient of the Schauffler Legacy Award in Social Work is Lori Robeson. She was unable to be with us this morning and will receive a recognition at a campus event later this year. Lori began her career at Defiance College in August 2001 as a faculty member and served until May 2009. During her time, she was the program director for social work, successfully leading the program through 2 reaffirmations of accreditation, ensuring continued excellence and compliance with CSWE standards. In addition to her leadership, Lori dedicated many years as a part-time instructor, continuing to mentor and inspire students well beyond her directorship. Her academic service extended beyond the classroom through participation in the Defiance College McMaster Fellowship Program, traveling twice to Cambodia to broaden global perspectives for both herself and her students. She was also an active member of the Baccalaureate Program Directors, further advancing excellence in social work education nationwide. Lori earned her doctorate in May 2023 from the University of Toledo. She has served in many capacities throughout her career, including Dean of Allied Health and Public Services, and later Vice President of Academics at Northwest State Community College, where she retired after years of distinguished leadership. She has been involved with her profession and community by serving on various boards and associations. Lori and her husband Rex reside in Defiance, where they raised 3 children and now enjoy 3 grandchildren. Congratulations, Lori. Our next recognition is the Schaffler Legacy Award in Religion. Would Dr. Kate Davis and Dr. Katie Phillips please join the president on stage for the presentation of the award? Dr. Kate Davis is an interdisciplinary scholar and oral historian. She holds a PhD and MA in Women's Studies in Religion from Claremont Graduate University. Her work sits at the intersection between religious studies and gender studies, with a focus on digital humanities and religions of North America. From 2023 through 2025, she was the Krieger Scholar in Religious Studies at Defiance College. And in the fall of 2025, she joined the faculty of Alvernia University as a visiting assistant professor in the humanities. During her time at Defiance College, Dr. Davis undertook an immense project to digitize a large amount of the Schaffler archives. In the summer of 2024, Dr. Davis led the undergraduate research program to digitize the archives with 2 DC students. They began cataloging and digitizing the thousands of files and artifacts in the Schaffler archives. Through this process, they uncovered the stories of Schaffler women from around the world and made them accessible on Ohio Memory to their family members and researchers alike. The work Dr. Davis has done to bring these stories to light and make them accessible online is truly exemplary of the Schaffler legacy. Congratulations, Kate.
I didn't bring a note card. I, like my students, have some notebook paper here. There are so many people to thank, as this process was truly a group effort. I have to start, of course, with my wonderful husband, Dr. Matt Davis, who, as I was undertaking this sort of immense project, volunteered his time to drive hard drives back and forth to Columbus, Ohio, where he would drop off truly immense amounts of data with Ohio Memory, and really supported us the whole time we undertook this digitization project. I have to thank Dr. Sorrell and Dr. Caldwell for taking a chance on a non-STEM summer research project from a first-year faculty who sort of popped up and was like, I have this big idea, can we do this? I have to thank the wonderful students who worked on this project with me, Rachel and Matthew in that first summer, and then Allie, Kirsten, and Braylon, who took up that torch and continued working throughout last year and learned all sorts of new and exciting skills in digitizing that I was, learning along with them sometimes. And of course, Barb Sedlock, who allowed us to invade her space and her archives to work on this project. And then, of course, Dr. Phillips, who was the absolute best department chair anyone could ask for and helped us with grant writing and support throughout my tenure as the Krieger Scholar. So a little bit about this project and why I think it's so important. There's a very famous quote by a historian, Laurel Thatcher Ulrich, that says, well-behaved women seldom make history. And I think this quote is taken on a life of its own, and it's sometimes misunderstood a little bit. She's not saying you have to misbehave to be important, although, she wouldn't be opposed to making a little bit of good trouble now and then. Rather, that women are so often excluded from historical records, sort of as a matter of course. And it's only when we become outrageous or can be made an object lesson that we are allowed in to the historical record. The barrier for women to make history is incredibly high. And it's easy to look at the dominant narratives of history and imagine that women were absent, when in fact what we know is that they were excluded. But if we are going to be excluded from the archives of the powerful then we will create archives of our own and tell our own stories. We will leave a record and be a voice speaking from the past to the future, saying that we were here. We created spaces and communities and made funny faces in pictures and fought against oppression. The Schaffler women are so inspiring in this way, uncovering their stories, the oppression they faced, the difficulties they overcame to achieve their degrees in their truly amazing lives was so inspiring to me. We must speak from the past to the future, that the path forward exists. We've been there. You're not alone, and you can keep going. So thank you to the Schaffler Board for this award and for their support of this project. Together, we do make history, and we will leave a record. Thank you so much.
So that's enough of me talking. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mark Miller, President of the Alumni Varsity Board, to announce the Hall of Fame recipients.
Good morning. I am Mark Miller, class of 1981 and president of Alumni Varsity D. I want to thank you all for being here to help us honor our Hall of Fame inductees today. Defiance College has a long tradition of outstanding athletes and coaches. The official induction to the Hall of Fame today will be at halftime of the game, so certainly join us out there. Before we start the awards presentation, we are saddened to learn the passing of S.G. Brugler, a 1968 DC grad, 3 weeks ago. SG was currently serving on Alumni Varsity D board and was a member of the 1966 undefeated football team that was inducted into the Hall of Fame. At this time, if you would join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, beginning our awards. At this time, our first recipient is Gary Scherger, posthumously. Would Gary's children please come forward? Jenny Haas, Danny Scherger, Angie Konechny, and Chris Scherger. Gary was a 1967 DC grad and majored in education. He passed away in 2020. He was a member of the 1966 undefeated football team that was ranked 10th in the nation. Gary was a starting fullback for the 64, 65, and 66 teams. He was named to the Mid-Ohio Conference 1965 first team. The 66 team finished 9-0 record under Coach Kirk Mee, winning the Mid-Ohio Conference Championship. This is a great stat. The team outscored the opponents 218-41, had a top-ranked rushing defense, and ranked 12th nationally in rushing offense. This historic 66 team was also inducted in the College Hall of Fame in 2016. Gary was a member of the DC Student Judiciary, Theta Xi Fraternity, and Varsity D Club. He was a successful high school teacher and coach. He is survived by his wife, Sandra, 4 children, 10 grandchildren. Gary was an avid hunter, fisherman, and golfer. He liked to cheer on the Buckeyes, the Browns, and the Indians, a man after my own heart. His favorite activity is watching his grandchildren participate in sports and school events. Congratulations to Gary and his family.
Thank you. Do you want me to say something?
Sure.
All right. Good morning, Defiance College. Happy homecoming weekend. I'm glad he had all the football stats because I did not include that. We are truly honored to be here today to speak on behalf of our father, Gary Scherger. There is one thing we know for sure. Dad loved being a Defiance Yellow Jacket. If someone got him started, he could talk Defiance football for days. He could retell a game play by play with a smile from ear to ear, like he, his teammates, and his coaches were on the field together again. You could feel his pride and excitement to be a part of the program. In fact, Dad had a beautiful purple and yellow stadium blanket from Defiance College that was always off limits when we tried to make a tent with blankets as kids in the family room. Any blanket in the closet, but not that Defiance blanket. While we knew Dad played from 1964 through 1966 as a varsity fullback, what he talked about most was that 1966 undefeated 9-0 season. He talked so much of his respect and admiration of his coaches and teammates and the fun they had on the field and off. It was that same team aspect that Dad later brought to his own teams. Dad used his education degree from Defiance to touch countless lives as a respected teacher and coach for 40 years. Through the years, he coached everything from varsity football to varsity track, and even a few years as a junior high cross-country coach at St. Wendelin and Lakota High School. He coached varsity football from 1973 to 1980 at Lakota, winning the league championship in 1979 with a 9-1 season. I now understand the memories of his college years must have been, that just must have brought back all of those memories of that year. After coaching football, Dad also had a great success as a varsity track coach, leading his girls and boys track teams to numerous conference championships and a 1987 Girls Division II state championship. That win earned Dad the honor of the 1987 OHSAA Coach of the Year. In closing, our entire family, especially our mother Sandra, would like to thank everyone involved in getting our father, Gary Scherger, inducted into the Defiance Hall of Fame today. Never doubt how much this honor would mean to him. Go Yellow Jackets.
Our next recipient is Ron Seymour. Would Stephen Seymour, Ron's son, please come forward? Ron and his wife Adele were unable to be with us this morning. Ron Seymour is a Toledo Central Catholic High School graduate and a 1967 DC grad. He was on the 1966 undefeated football team and a 4-year letter winner for the Yellow Jackets, primarily playing defensive back. He also earned 2 letters in track and was selected all-conference team in football his senior year. He had an outstanding season in his senior year as a converted pass receiver and runner. Ron was the second leading pass receiver in the Mid-Ohio Conference. During Ron's 4 years at DC, he was a member of the Varsity D Club and Theta Xi fraternity and was in the top 20% of his graduating class. Ron is a retired high school principal and coach and was employed at Euclid City Schools for 43 years. He was inducted into the Euclid High School Sports Hall of Fame in 2015 as a coach. His civic service has included the YMCA and Rotary Club. Ron and his wife Adele have 5 children. Congratulations to Ron and his family.
I'll do my best, but very much like Gary, my dad was so proud to go to Defiance College and play on that 1966 team. If you were a Seymour growing up, you knew that team went undefeated. If he was here today, he would tell some stories. the stories would probably go around the picture that you guys see in the program today. I don't know how the picture came about, but it must have been the program or whatever it was, and that was the pose that he struck for the picture. Every Christmas in the Seymour house, he would do that. He would do that pose in front of the Christmas tree and tell us stories about how wonderful that team was. I learned last night from George and a couple other members that today Gary Sugar and my dad complete the class of '67 with Jose, George, and Ben Davis to be the 5 seniors that are all now in the Hall of Fame. Public speaking's a little difficult for us. My dad is our hero and someone we've always looked up to. So thank you to Defiance College and everybody. And a few stories that we can talk about are, when we got the letter he was going in the Hall of Fame, it mentioned that he also lettered in track and baseball. And I said to my dad, "Dad, I never knew you played baseball in college." He said, "Yeah, I did. I was busy." But his favorite sport was football. Not only did he play for 4 years here at Defiance College, he went on to coach at Euclid High School. He was the head coach for 9 years, won the GCC title in 1978, and then decided to retire in 1984 to get into administration. He became an administrator for the rest of his career, serving the last 14 years as high school principal at Euclid High School, which was at the time one of the largest high schools in the state of Ohio. So, on behalf of the Seymour family, I thank Defiance College for recognizing my father, Rod Zigzag Seymour. Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to hear football stories, there's a couple tables there in the back will tell you all about '66, I'll tell you. There's some good ones. That's good group back there. Well, at this time, would Joan Elker Harris please come forward? Joan is from the DC class of 1992 with a double major of business and accounting. She was a 2-sport athlete competing in cross country and basketball. Joan earned 3 letters in cross country as a runner and was named MVP, All-Ohio, All-League, All-District, and All-American qualifier. In basketball, she was a guard. She was captain her junior and senior years, MVP, All-Star Team, and All-League. Joan was named DC Female Athlete of the Year her senior year. With little time for extracurricular activities, she still was able to be a president's host, mathematics tutor, and recipient of many academic honors. Joan graduated summa cum laude, somewhere I never even thought about, with a 3.94 GPA. Currently, Joan is Vice President of Finance at Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. Joan and her husband, Jim, have 2 children. Jim was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2013 for men's basketball. Congratulations, Joan.
Good morning. I was just fine until I heard Gary and Ron's family speak. Now I'm not so sure. We'll see. First of all, thank you. Upon learning of my induction into Alumni Varsity D, one of the first people I wanted to tell was my mom. After joining cross country in high school my freshman year, she drove me, literally, to the hills, the paths, the trails, the parks. And while I was out running, my mom began walking, and she never stopped. She continues to walk a 5K 6 days a week outside in Ohio at 90 years old. Thank you, Mom. I loved competing in a DC uniform, both on the course and the court. And I was sidelined my junior year of basketball and my senior year of cross country. I had a ruptured disc, had back surgery, and the recovery wasn't easy. And the thanks during that time, these thanks are long overdue. I want to give a big thank you to Tim Westo and the training staff, not just for their knowledge, encouragement, and patience, but all that made the training room lighter, funnier, in a very positive place. Thank you. I want to thank my sister Diane. She recommended the book by Gail Sayers, I Am Third. Though published in 1970, I continue to recommend it to anybody that's had a sports injury. Its message is very simple. God is first, my family second, and I am third. I also want to thank my husband of 32 years. Jim, he showed me early on he'd be there in the hard times. We've had a few in our years. We've lost parents, a child, dealt with medical issues, yet here we are. Thank you. I was on campus a few weeks ago. I live close, so I'm here often anyways, but I wanted to check out the cross-country course. There used to be one. It's been replaced by a softball field that didn't exist, a tennis facility, an upgraded football stadium, and the track's not stone. The upgrades in the facilities are apparent, and I'm thankful for all that continue to make them possible, and for our passionate athletic director. To conclude, a few more thank yous. First, to the Alumni Varsity D and its executive board. Thank you for your consideration and welcoming me as a member of the Hall of Fame. It's a prestigious group, like they said, one that my husband Jim is a part of. My son Luke couldn't be here today. He's busy with the University of Toledo basketball team as a student manager, but my daughter Sarah is. And I'd like to point out she does have 3 collegiate points at Defiance College in basketball. I added that. You're welcome, Sarah. I'd like to thank Defiance College, its administration, its donors, athletic supporters, the Purple and Gold Club, my teammates, my coaches, Sherry McCoy for answering all my questions in my emails, and to whomever it was that nominated me. And finally, I want to thank those that matter most, my God and my family. I am third and both honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you.
Joan, I got the shakes a minute when you mentioned that cross-country course. I remember Coach Small making us run that thing in jogging class back in the day. Oh my gosh. I didn't think I'd have to ever jog that long in jogging class. At this time, would C.J. Johnson please come up? C.J. is a 2008 graduate of Defiance College majoring in organizational leadership and an outstanding guard for the DC men's basketball team. He led it all 4 years, was captain his junior and senior year, and he was all-league all 4 years. He was named League Freshman of the Year, team scoring leader his senior year, and was on the 2007-2008 league championship team. He had 1,374 career points. While at DC, he was Student Senate Vice President and member of BASA. He is currently in e-commerce sales and is married to Leandra, and they have 2 children. Congratulations, CJ.
so I don't have anything prepared. So just me and my wife here today. My son has soccer in Liberty Center. My daughter's playing volleyball right now at Lima Bath. So there's usually more of us. There's only 2 of us today. I just want to thank God first off, just for me being here, for all you guys being here. Just waking up every day, that's a blessing. So that's the first thing, first and foremost. I want to thank my wife. She's always with me when I'm super nervous about something and I need her. So like doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, stuff like this. So she helps me get through this type of stuff. So first off, I want to thank, I grew up West Side Toledo, inner city. So it's just a blessing, really, honestly, just to be here in front of you guys today, and even to make it to college, as a lot of my friends went different directions. But the main blessing from that was my parents. I had the best parents you can ask for in the situation I was in. My mom and dad, if anybody was here when I was playing here, they came to every home game, and they were always here. So those 2 are the reason I'm really standing in front of you guys today. I had some of the best parents that anybody can ask for. So I really appreciate them. I appreciate anyone who's ever been to our games, our training staff right there. And I had great coaches here as well. Coming from St. Francis, a school in Toledo, was all boys. And I really, when I was in Toledo, I stayed under my parents most of the time. So you gotta combine those 2, me being around all boys all the time, never going anywhere and just staying under my parents, and then you get thrust into college real quick. So I had the perfect coaches who were Coach Miller, Coach Cutter, Coach Dreyer, Coach Roofer, and Coach Howell throughout my 4 years, and they were like the best coaches I could ask for. They guided me along the way, because I was really homesick my first year. Even though it was right down the road, I struggled a little bit with that, but they always helped me out a lot. And the main thing, going back to my parents, is not really about like how good you can dribble, how good you can shoot the ball. It's always about how good of a teammate and a person you are to the people around you. You treat the guy that's 13th on the list just like the first guy. You treat the guys who are cleaning up the gym just like the president of the school. You treat everybody the same, treat everybody with respect, and eventually you'll build up a program. And that's what we did while I was here. And I was just a small piece of it. I don't really count them. My main thing, the points and all that, that's important. It's something I worked hard for to build skills up. But the main thing I'm proud of is just being a good teammate and building relationships with all the guys I played with. So lastly, I would just like to thank you guys for coming out. That's pretty much all I got. And thank you very much.
Would Doug Priege please come forward? Doug was a 1989 graduate of Defiance College majoring in marketing and management and a stellar player on the DC men's basketball team. He was a member of the 87-88 team that qualified for the NAIA National Tournament in Kansas City. During the 88-89 campaign, he was named MVP of the men's basketball team and DC's Male Athlete of the Year. Additionally, Doug was named to the NAIA District 22 men's team and is only one of 10 players in DC history with 300-plus rebounds in a season. Doug and his wife, Jill, own New Concept Realty in Hamler, Ohio, and share 2 children and 4 grandchildren. He has been involved in his community as a member of the Hamler Men's Club, a township trustee, and serving on the Land Bank Board of Directors and Metropolitan Housing Authority Board of Directors. Congratulations, Doug.
Well, I was doing pretty good until it was time to come up here, so we'll see how this goes. First off, I want to thank some of my coaches. Coach Retcher, got the chance to talk to him over the phone yesterday. Coach Bob Martin. Tim Whetstone, you're here somewhere, I believe. Thanks for keeping me put together for the 2 years I was here. Thanks to my teammates. I see Jim Harris, Jim Garris are both here. And most importantly, to the administration, Defiance College Alumni Varsity D, for allowing me to be here today. So I also want to acknowledge some people here with me today, my wife Jill, my son Adam, daughter Allison. That was a surprise, I didn't think she was coming today. My two oldest granddaughters, Ava and Ensley. So with that, I also want to talk a little bit later about the two people most responsible for me being here today, and that was Coach Holmberger and my dad. I had a pretty unconventional path getting to Defiance, to be honest with you. After I graduated from Patrick Henry, I actually went down to Lima, to what was then Northwest Business College. Now you probably know it as UNOH. I had a chance to go to school there and actually played down there for 2 years, played for Jim Arnzen. Some of you may know is a Defiance College graduate. Was also, I believe his team also qualified for the national tournament when Jim was here. After that, I went into the workforce, worked here in town at Johns Manville. Really wasn't happy with how things were going. I knew I had a couple years of eligibility left, and yes, I also came to get my degree. So it helped. I knew a couple of PH alum were here, Dennis Bosman and Kirk Seaman. I'd gotten to know Jim, both Jims over the years, and some of the guys from Putnam County that were on the team. So eventually I ended up taking a visit here. It was kind of a Coach Holmberger style visit. You know Coach at all, you know he's pretty direct, sometimes a man of rather few words. So we toured the campus, got to meet some of the other players, and then we were sitting in his car, actually right out here in the parking lot, and he just looked at me and he said, "Well, are you coming here or not?" So obviously I did. So that was kind of a funny visit, I'm not going to lie. Now keep in mind, I hadn't played organized basketball for a couple years, so it was a little interesting getting to the first few practices, first few scrimmages, about half the year. It took me a little bit of adjusting to get used to being coached again. To say that Coach and I butted heads for a while is probably an understatement, but we obviously came to have great respect for each other, and even though we struggled early that first year I was here, I think we were like 5-5, something like that. We were not playing well, practices were awful, and then eventually we got things turned around as a team. I think we ended up finishing out something, what was it, Jim, like won 19 of our next 20, something like that. And that was the year we qualified to go to the tournament and play out in Kemper Arena in Kansas City. That was truly a highlight of that particular season. I mentioned my dad earlier. So it wasn't long after we got back from Kansas City, he got diagnosed with terminal cancer. So I've got a younger brother and a younger sister. They were both, one was in college, Scott was in college, my sister Stephanie was in high school at the time. So we had, in my mind, I thought I had some decisions to make, and I was still only 21, 22 years old. I thought maybe I should stay home to kind of help out around home, see how things played out, kind of help take care of my brother and sister. Well, I had kind of a sit down with my dad, and it didn't last very long. I kind of told him what I was thinking, and he basically stopped me about mid-sentence, and he said, "You're going to go back to school, you're going to get your degree, you're going to finish playing basketball, you've got teammates that are counting on you." So that's what I did. As it turned out, Dad lived long enough to see me play my entire season. Even was around for senior night here at DC, was able to come to that and attend it. And then what I learned, even while that was going on, and especially more so after, was that really wasn't about basketball that year at all. Taught me to see firsthand what it was like to see someone as strong as my dad watched him go through all of his treatments, And yet somehow, no matter how bad he felt, him and Mom managed to make nearly all my games, home or away, and again, especially senior night. That particular season, my senior year, may not have been a success from a wins and loss perspective, but that season really taught me to cherish every moment along the way, which I continue to try to do to this day yet. So the other thing I want to mention is throughout that whole process, my senior year, the support and love I experienced from everybody at this college, whether it was administrators, professors. Jerry Hayes is a friend of mine, lives back around me. We've talked about Dr. Buckman, always enjoyed talking to him. But especially my teammates, my coaches, my mom, my brother and sister. Couldn't have done it without them. So thank you to everybody here at Defiance College. Thank you to the people that nominated me. The 2 years I spent here were short, but they've given me memories to last a lifetime. Thank you.
All right, would Ken Steingraber please come forward? Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Ken Steingraber, DC class of 1984, majoring in business marketing. Ken played baseball for the Yellow Jackets, was a 4-year letter winner playing third base. He led the team in RBI year after year. He was named NAIA All-HBCC First Team in 1982, as well as NAIA District 22 First Team, and First Team All-Conference in 82, 83, and 84. Ken helped lead the team to back-to-back district playoffs in 82 and 83. He still holds the college's season-high slugging percentage at .781. That was in 1984. And he's second in career hitting with a .368 average. Ken was a member of the Theta Xi fraternity, Chief Justice of Student Court, and participated in intramurals. He graduated with a 3.04 GPA. He is active in civic service, participating as a church volunteer, old newsboys, and youth coach. Ken lives in Prescott Valley, Arizona with his wife Renee, an 84 graduate of DC, and they have 2 children. Congratulations, Ken.
All right. I'm not very good at this either, and I was good until some of these speeches about people's parents and things. So first of all glory to God. I'm going to do a little thanks first. Thanks, Alumni Varsity D. Thanks to those that nominated me. I believe Joe Dupree and Jeff Westfall. It means a lot to me. Congratulations to the other recipients today. My resume doesn't hold up to yours, but I appreciate the people that think it does. It's with much gratitude that I accept recognition as a new member in the Alumni Varsity Hall of Fame. I'm grateful to many loved ones, many dear friends, many teammates, and especially to those that do deem my achievements to be worthy. It was never a goal of mine to be in the Hall of Fame. I always played sports because I found so much enjoyment and fulfillment from competing and being part of a team. Once my competitive playing days ended, I really didn't miss participating on the diamond. What I did miss was a camaraderie, joy I experienced while fraternizing with guys and striving for success as a team. I'm very fortunate to have maintained a close, loving relationship with many of my former teammates. Our coach, Coach Rudder, speaking of butting heads, yeah. And my fraternity brothers. Common theme tonight with Theta Xi. Man, we didn't think that people thought that much about us, but boy, did we show.
It is this aspect of being part of a team and organization that makes it good, the good times great, the tough times manageable. To all my college teammates, many of them here today, I think we could put a pretty good team on the field today, actually. We're not as fast, we're not as, we don't move as good, but we still think we're good. To my Theta brothers, I love you guys, appreciate your friendship. I don't fully understand how or why I'm receiving this award. To be quite frank, I never really gave a moment of thought that I would someday be in this position. Just never thought of myself of worthy of such recognition. I truly am humbled and feel very appreciative that others think I do meet the requirements. I want to mention those that I love and owe so much. Thank you all for helping me reach this goal. Pinnacle. It really wasn't a goal. Again, to all my teammates, which I got 2 tables full over here, and they're old. And a lot of them made a lot of effort to be here, and I really appreciate it. Coach Rudder, you know I love you. To my family, which includes my fraternity brothers who are here supporting me today. I have my Uncle Mike is here with me today, my sister Kim, my mother's here today, God bless her, my son Christian, my grandkids Ruby and Ben came all the way from Canada today. My son Jeremiah couldn't make it, he and his wife. My son Christian, my daughter-in-law Natalie, thank you. Like many of us said, we couldn't be here without our parents. So I'm glad my mom's here. She paid the $4,500 tuition. I appreciate that. And my father passed away about 3 years ago. Like many of us, he was my first coach, whether it was on the field or just at home in the backyard. I think he'd be proud today. I love him, I miss him. My wife, Renee's an '84 graduate. She's the rock. My friends would gladly tell you that she's a saint because they don't understand how. For the last 49 years, she's been by my side. She's seen more baseball games than probably a lot of folks. I love her to death. And she's part of the gang. She was a Theta little sis, but my buddies still tell me she owes rent. So again, it means the world to me that I'm receiving this honor today, and it means the world that my family and friends are here to enjoy it, and I appreciate y'all. And it's been a great day so far. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just a few more things today. First of all, while Ken's getting back to his seat, a lot of family built here at DC. You can tell there's a lot of emotion and a lot of good things have happened in this college over the years. And we're on the upswing here, man, so don't forget about that. We're on the upswing here at DC. It's great to see that happening. At this time, I would like to have all of the current Hall of Fame members please stand to be recognized. If you're in the Hall of Fame, please stand, whether you're individually in or as a team. Congratulations again, guys. In closing, the Alumni Varsity Club again offers congratulations to all these outstanding athletes and coaches. We're very proud of all of you. Just a reminder, all new Hall of Famers are welcome to take photos with their family and friends out there at the Hall of Fame walkway pavers. And now I've got an announcement that I'm going to make twice because Mr. Troutman told me to do it twice. At 5 minutes to go before halftime ceremony, an announcement will be made for all Hall of Fame members and inductees to meet down by the field with John Troutman. Okay? One more time. 5 minutes to go before halftime. An announcement will be made for all Hall of Famers and new inductees to meet down at the field. And the new inductees can kind of find me, and all the people that are in the Hall of Fame kind of find John, and we'll head out to the field together. I'd like to thank everyone for supporting Alumni Varsity D, and I always have to put a little spotlight on Varsity D. Remember, every time you get one of those things in the mail and they ask you to give a little bit of money, remember that every cent goes back to Defiance College Athletics. And you all know sitting in here, if we've got 1,000 students at Defiance College, 900 of them are athletes. We know that. If we've got 500 here, 450 of them are athletes. I mean, they're doing something, and there's a lot more athletics here today than there was back when I was involved in. And I'll tell you a quick story if you haven't heard this. So there's a volleyball team going on here at DC right now, and they've played really well. And that gym has been packed a few times, and it's crazy from what I understand. I haven't been there myself, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear about, because I remember when Doug and these guys were playing basketball here, and some of the guys that played when I was here, we packed that gym, and it was crazy out there, and that's what we want to happen at DC again. So remember, if you have a chance to support Alumni Varsity, we appreciate it. If you want to see one of our newest projects, we gave $48,000 to the college so we could put new locker rooms in this building right here, or next door, and we've got a couple of new teams. We have women's wrestling coming in, some different things like that need locker room space, so it's awesome. All right, we've got the Big Ten out front. Enjoy yourself today. Have a great homecoming day. Tiffany, our athletic director, was in charge of weather today. She did a great job. Have fun. Go DC!